points lah, like
And that is one aspect of it. And of course, that if you were to talk about the reward, you are not yet to be able to see what is the reward. Right? So then what else? Yeah. So that's why, that is the reason why that the prayer is actually doing the grooming, to groom us, you know. But not all the time when you are going to be doing things and you are not affected by satanic distraction. So that's why the aim of the study is to go as far as you can. Yeah, deeper and deeper, in order just to ensure that you remain within that premises, or rather that area of studies.
so that's why I'm always studying. For example, one topic, one question you can give me to answer. So I'm always on the logic and then the humanity part. So I know it is good to pray 5 times a day, because at that certain hour, like you will think of rubbish.
Yeah.
You feel sleepy. You will think of doing some funny thing. So I know it is good for me. Like I say the duty to practice and so but I'm just saying that I will not know when I acquire more or less like sufficient knowledge. I'll always be like quite afraid to share.
Okay. Today I'll share with you. This is taken from Al-Imam Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in his book of Targhib and Tarhib. He explained about nearness. He give a few points here. Number one, he said encouragement to remember Allah often, secretly, openly, and to persevere in it. What is reported about someone who does not remember Allah often? This is what is reported from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Almighty say, I am in my slave opinion of me. This is hadith Qudsi. I am in my slave opinion of me, and I am with him when he remembers me. When he remembers me in himself, I mention him in myself. If he mention me in an assembly, I mention him in a better assembly than them. If he comes near me by handspan, I come near him a cubit. If he comes near me by a cubit, I come near a phantom. And when he comes to walking, I come to him running. Second, there's another report from Abdullah ibn Busar. Reported a man said, the Prophet ﷺ said, the law of Islam are too much. Okay, the law of Islam are too much for me. Tell me something I can cling to. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, your tongue. Your tongue should remain moist with the remembrance of Allah. Can you do that? That's the minimum that you said just now you are looking for. This is an example. Then again, reported by Abu Darda, the Prophet ﷺ said, shall I inform you of the best of your action and the purest of your property, the highest of your degrees? And what is better for you than spending gold and silver, and better for you than encountering the enemy and striking their neck, and they are striking your neck? And they said, yes, indeed, O Prophet of Allah. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, remembrance of Almighty Allah. That's all. Remembrance of Almighty Allah. And then Muaz bin Jabal added, there is nothing which saves from the punishment of Allah more than the remembrance of Allah. So if you were to talk about the practice, that is the minimum that is expected from you. Just be wary of him wherever you are, and wherever you are, in other words. Then Abu Sa'id al-Khudri also reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, do a lot of remembrance of Allah until they say he is mad. If someone said you are Syed. Can you imagine? There are such people I have met, Huh? So be careful. That's why when you see people who are remembering Allah, don't say they are Syed. They are not Syed. They are alert. Then again, Abu Musa reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, if one man has some dirham in his possession, which he divide, and another remember Allah, the one who remember Allah is better. One variant has, there is no sadaqah better than the remembrance of Allah. Can you imagine if you have one dirham, the remembering of Allah is better than one dirham. These are all hadiths I'm reading to you.
Okay.
Then number 6, Anas reported that she said, the Prophet ﷺ command me, and he said, avoid act of disobedience. That is the best jihad. The best jihad is to avoid the act of disobedience. Do a lot of invoking Allah. You do not bring Allah anything. You do not bring Allah anything. He loves more than a lot of remembrance. That's all what he demands from us. So there are so many here. I will not be, if you want, I will forward to you. This is a book about Targhib. You know what Targhib is? It's more to the practice of what you want to be doing. Then you will know, as I said, just know when to stop. Now, bottom line is, you must remember, we don't belong here. Right? We were created to be serving him. So, and good enough that he only stretch it to 5 times a day. And what he expects is you become alert within that 5 times a day, which is you spend 25 minutes a day. If you base on 5 minutes times 5, then what are you going to do the rest of the time? You know, us as human, as he mentioned again in the Quran, وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانَ ضَعِيفٌ, we were created weak in flesh. So if you do not remember him until, like I has mentioned just now, until you become mad, meaning like, and as if people look like you are mad, but you're doing a lot of zikr. Until you're able to do that, then you can just maybe more relaxed in terms of. And so the idea is to help us so that we will not be punished from the day of judgment. It's almost impossible in this modern world. That's why I want to run to Batam. Cannot. In Singapore, it's like you just can't. Above, below, it depends on where you stay, what kind of, especially like this, transparent, all kind of nonsense you see. And we are such. You study psychology, the mind works very quick. The mind travels faster than the speed of an aeroplane. So that's right. So we get distracted by whatever we saw, and that's the reason why the remembrance is important. The remembrance is so that to remind you that you should be wary of what is, So most of the scholars that I met, that I know, they all mostly stay in the jungle. And it's the only way that the mind can be, Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not saying that it is not possible. I didn't say that. It's possible that if you can fight. If Allah help you, because if everybody go to the jungle, then what happened to the world? It will be a problem also.
Because that kind of concept to some of us, I think it's fine. Like I was doing Buddhism, it was always better to go to seclusion, like keep out.
Yeah, that's why if you cannot, Islam have a way somehow. That's why regularly must always be You must be selective in choosing your friend. When you call a friend a sahaba, that friend is the friend that always remind you of the prayer. Then you call him sahaba. Sahaba, sahabi or sahaba in Arabic, it means really buddy. Otherwise, you just say bro, 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 bro. Huh? Sahabi is not bro, bro. Sahabi is, I mean, I don't know whether you can find. In this modern world, like I was sharing with Ideal this afternoon also, like the student don't miss the teacher. Teacher misses the student. The teacher is a father. Student is a son. So the nature of son normally naughty lah, playful. But the student, when the teacher comes in, or wherever you are, you will see the teacher will be looking for the student. Why the student never come? How come? The feeling of like, how can I share? How can I make them stay? How can I make them understand? And then, as I was telling him, he will be feeling the same since he's a school teacher. This is the character of a teacher, and then teacher will need to do a lot of sacrifices to ensure that the student come and they are okay lah. In other words, so here one may ask if is it possible to acquire knowledge of Tawheed without a teacher? Teacher form has an obligatory duty for every individual. That is the role of a teacher. The form has an obligatory duty for every individual. So the answer to this question is that a teacher solves difficulties and make learning easier and quicker. Otherwise, as you can see, they arrested two terrorists again here in Singapore. And it's scary to know that the other one, that he says that if he really get through, he will create a havoc in Singapore, kill innocent people and this and that. Scary. So this is what happens if you don't have a teacher. Because you need someone to make you understand. Cannot be that it has been that system. Even Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, unless you are chosen by Allah, then your teacher will be someone that is invisible. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
They self-explain themselves. So for me, I feel like a teacher can clarify.
Yeah.
Because every student have different way of understanding, so they are able to explain to individual students. But I think now a lot of students think they know a lot, because I can find out a lot, but they do not know that certain things need explanation. That's what I see now.
So that's why in Islam, you see down here, it mentioned in the book, Allah grant the honor of being a teacher, whom He will. Because that is the reason why. I mean, unlike even I think in the same in the academic, teacher cannot be like a terrorist, cannot be behaving in a very unethical manner, because then the student will not have respect for the teacher. So in Islam, it goes into more detail. You cannot just be wearing short, going to the market, as an example. Meaning like we cannot be living like a normal life. Not that we cannot, but we chose to be living because we are a teacher. So you must set an example.
Provided we believe in the role of the teacher. If not, then you just become like a teacher part-time.
So that's what happened that's why even in the context of our society, the Ministry of Education realized that when they saw they produce so much of this intellectual, but it's without quality. So that means something is missing. So for Islam, is even more detailed. He will, as Allah will, so it should be borne in mind that the valley of knowledge is very difficult to cross. Very difficult. Many people take its path, then give up their journey. That's what you saw normally in most classes. They give up the journey. The teacher haven't died, but the student gone already. This is what you saw. I mean, through my 15 or 20 years of teaching, this is what I saw.
Semoga Allah panjangkan umur.
On and off thing lah, it's on and off thing. Like pick up something. If it's easy, okay. If it's difficult, maybe I come back again. Yeah.
That's why I try to be moderate. I don't do heavy decay like switch off the light, then this and that. Then I don't do that kind of heavy lah. Something that is ratib al haddad just now you read. With the meanings are all there. You will find that it is actually what we need daily, because especially when you're dealing with human and unhuman, spiritual. So you need this kind of words where it should force it to be with you lah. That it should be like off record. You should not be bringing anything to be remembering the ratib. Ratib also you got problem to remember. Then how? Then what else you want? Rana Riti song you can remember. But then come to the ratib, then you see, and then with the technology some more, what excuse have you got? During my time, no choice. Dada had to bring the book wherever we go. Now it's like, so I told you I'm scared every time when I am in Singapore. I mean, if you look around, the world is not at peace at this moment. You don't get the privileges here in the context of your society. You want to do zikir yasin underneath the tree, who cares? The most they say, hello, please, they show people sitting underneath. If you don't disturb them, I don't think so. They don't bother you. They don't bother you. And how come that? Isn't it strange to find that we are Muslim, but we cannot attract others? What went wrong here? Right.
Cannot
It's
accept
very
fellow Muslim.
It's your akhlaq, Mr. Jul. It's not really that difficult. It's your akhlaq. I will show you if you want to see lah.
Go on, Ustadz.
Really?
But I've been thinking, is there another way?
Yes,
that's why I very
okay.
interested in the topic, the modernization part. How?
Can you need to spend more time with me lah. You need to spend more time with me, then inshallah, it's a question of there are layers that needs to be break. Even for Muslim, like you see, if you were to check, we have a Muslims here in this class. You need to check. You ask him about how sincere is sincere. Ask him. See whether he can answer you or not.
The example you give is, if someone asks something from you, will you give it with all you have, or you're gonna give just a portion of it? Something like that. So let's talk about, let's say, your house. If somebody asks for your house, will you give just your room or entire house, something like that?
So you see, these are the things that you need to check. There is a check and balance in whatever that you do. Even in your daily prayer, you're not sincere. You are just forcing yourself, or you do for the sake of others doing, you do. So this is where, how do you expect Allah wants to recognize you? Where what he demands is not really that much. He made it very clear in the Quran. I only ask, be sincere. That is the reason why many of these are recorded about the previous people, about the Abid, about the prostitute that saved the life of the dog. These are giving us hope that all Allah wants from you is sincere. So in this ratib, why I choose, because there's a statement, there's a prayer that taught by Prophet Muhammad SAW, Raditu billahi rabba. I'm pleased. You as my God, Allah, I'm pleased. If you say you are pleased, then no money, why complain?
Got money, complain.
Of course lah. Got money, complain, that one is not enough. Different. No money is a different issue. I mean, you will find that in our day-to-day life, we are not, we are not being grateful to Allah. We make noise only. Where again, as I said, that if you were to compare with the neighboring countries, the facilities that Allah have given to Muslim in Singapore, they should all be scholars actually.
Yeah, right.
They should all be scholars. Because it's all within reach. You have Ustadz coming to your house, to start to teach you.
Coming easier and easier.
Yeah. What more you want? How come cannot become a scholar? You have Ustadz, and then not one Ustadz, okay? Quran Ustadz different. Sirah Ustadz different. Example.
Actually, one.
Imagine. And how many scholars are there? Not much. No, I think so far has yet to. No, I've yet to met. I cry every day, Mr. Jul. Every morning I cry. I got no one that I want can share my knowledge. So I cannot be bothering you all. You all need to be working. So those who are not work is why I will call. Hello, where are you?
My June I'm free.
Because time is running. Age is catching up. We there's now this Habib Ali Zainal Abideen, this another Habib Abu Bakr al-Mashhur. I don't know whether you saw somebody, I think Khairuddin text to me that he's giving talk by his, you need someone that speaks Arabic. Currently he's a scholar that answer to modern science. Using sign and go to the Quran and to show you SIGN. This Khairuddin just text me just now.
Oh, okay.
You got this?
No, the diploma course and
diploma blah.
Yeah, the 6th of June, the what was some. I think
this is the scholars.
Adam.
Yeah. Oh, that one is Idris Taufik. I met him. He was a former pastor. The one that is, was it you who? Adam, eh? He was a former pastor. Huh? No, Father Norman local, one from Europe.
But anyway, I won't be able to understand.
Yeah, this one is high level. That's why that was my next dream, if I make it back to Singapore, then we all will go to the Arabic classes that I mentioned, right from the very beginning. So it will be, many people take its path, then give up their journey. Talking about studying. And then what happened here, some fortunate, some will go astray from the path, while the fortunate person will cross this valley quickly and successfully. But some remain wandering this way and that way in utter confusion, right? In fact, everything rests in the hands of Allah. Here Imam Ghazali said, I have already mentioned that the virtue of service to and worship of Allah is solely depend on the requisite knowledge. Is it the right word? Requisite, requisite knowledge, particularly the knowledge of. So you master that one enough. If you master Tawheed, you got nothing to fear. Like I always said, if you're not working, what is it you fear? But you must be ready lah. Allah take your car, keep quiet. Allah take your house, keep quiet. Example. That's all. Tawheed is about knowing God. And if your Tawheed is concrete, then the prayer and all others become very meaningful. If your Tawheed is shallow, then the prayer is just an action. another action, another pretentious. And then you are deluded by what you do. You think that I'm okay, never drink already, never gamble, never find a moy. You conclude and that you are okay. And that's why you need the three subjects, as I said. But Tawheed is the first one. Because from understanding, like example, like I said, if you would be making a comparison on human, you may find that it is not that great to compare yourself with Dr. Tony Tan. Example.
Example.
I mean, you know where I'm coming from? In measuring human, when you talk about power, you don't feel that you're sacred or scared. And this one ICA officer, so what? If you have a police officer, even ISA here in the classroom. I mean, in general, human, if you measure from that aspect, you can't see much of a difference. But when he put on his uniform, I wear 3P, then you know who I am and who he is. This is human. So Tawheed is about that. Knowing Allah. In order for you to feel his greatness. Otherwise you see the action is like meaningless, isn't it? You raise your hand for what? Do you feel the greatness? You utter Allah is great, but you don't feel the greatness. What kind of an utterance is that? You're playing a fool. We've got Allah Akbar, but the current is not there. You are not connected. You are not connected. Your Tawheed is weak. You forgot. You utter every day. You say Allah Akbar. He is the greatest. You cannot be denying that. How come there is no weight in whatever that you're doing? So this is where, if you want to be just, I'm not saying that you should not, but if you want to be best, is to go deeper in Tawheed. It's one book that written by the late Babu Syed, but some of this book I'm so sorry cannot find. Because the author himself passed away already. Very prominent, the only or the first, in fact, Indian Muslim scholars that sit in the legal committee here with the religious council, the late Babu Syed. He wrote this book, which is known as Tenets of Islam. It is taken from an Arabic book, translated, very good. It's in green color, not really that thick. When he launched it that time, I was very fortunate. The son, it's like I make friends with the friend. The son is teaching in the International Islamic University, Dr. Hikmatullah Babu Syed. Hopefully he's reading and watching this. And this is still, just to show him that I remember him. He assists me a lot in me wanting to get papers, because I was trained by the traditional scholars which is without paper. So when I was serving the Rakam, he was the head of the education division. That's where I get the opportunity to took my diploma in Islamic studies. And the rest all I just continue on my own studies. So if you do not want to be astray, so that's where as I said, because Tawheed matter, because Tawheed will link in whatever that is happening around us, isn't it? It's also reflected. That's why you need to be doing in the prayer. You mentioned ihdinas siratal mustaqim. You want Allah to show you. Prior to that, you said iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. To you I serve, and to you that I turn for help. How come you got problem? You look for the Syed.
Look for me, I cannot help.
Seriously, I was thinking the diploma, but the thing is, I need clear direction. Like you say, okay, it's info. I know my sense. But I think a lot of other things is not really that. It's good. Be learning everything, but
just two things: Tawheed and Arabic language. This, to start with. That will take your whole life, okay? For your information.
got caught.
Yeah.
Come by brother, he goes, hey, it's very easy, it's in us. But for example, like that day at your place, everybody can recite. I mean, obviously, most of you are from a certain age, lah. You know, the same.
Yes.
I feel very distant now. Like,
You stay with me. So. Within months, you are able to. It's just that these are all very stubborn. Don't want to come to me.
well, so I think I have encountered a lot of things before. So what I'm saying is, I think it needs that leap of faith. If I can cross that invisible valley, I can cross anything. Is
so you need to know what are the hindrances. That's why you see a lot of people pray. You need to find.
Tell you about the leap.
So it's a question of you want or you don't want. The capacity that Allah gave to us is within our reach. We are able to do. It's a question of you want or you don't. You need to break that whatever the hindrance are, the obstacle, the hurdles. That's why I choose this book. If you go and read in more detail, the other obstacles, then the other valleys, then you can see. See, the first valley already you fail. You hardly complete. The teacher haven't died. The student all salam alaikum, graduate by themselves. Just now on my way here, you ask him. That one is from Sikhism. That time when she wanted to embrace, she almost beheaded by the parrot. She still remember me, alhamdulillah. She's leaving for Umrah tomorrow. I mean, it's just that I keep on losing my phone. So I keep on losing my student, unfortunately. But last time, they know where to reach me. Because if my phone change, they go to Darul. They will bang the door and Darul got no choice. But Darul know how to reach me. There are some of those staff who are still like, remembering my contribution, they keep my number. They want me to be updating them if there's a change of number of where I am. And now they know I'm at Hyderabad also. So they will. Anyway, be careful of this thing. So some fortunate person will cross this valley quickly and successfully, but some remain wandering this way and that way. Madam Hannah is in that state now. Going for the diploma means like, is whether you can complete it with flying colors if you are the type that academician approach, or do you think that doesn't matter actually? It's up to you. Because it's really pressurizing. Otherwise, you have to be sourcing for a lot of books in order to be able to understand the whole of the diploma program. But if the approach is the academic, is just listen to what the Ustadz, the doctor said, that's it, you get it already. But in order to get the essence, you need more. Then finally, the whole house got booked. That is what is going to happen now. You are knowledge seekers. Okay? But sad to say that when it comes to the worldly matter, you do that. You go all out to get your degree. And Allah doesn't say that you have to have a degree in order for you to get near Him. It's the sincerity, that's all. That is the degree that you need to have. So I have already mentioned, Imam Ghazali said that the virtue of service and worship of Allah solely depend on the requisite knowledge, what you know, particularly the knowledge of Tawheed and Tasawwuf, as I said again. Because Tasawwuf will have it balanced. There is no escape from these two. There's no escape. It occurred in a narrative. That's why normally when anybody asks me about halal and haram, Mr. Zul, I don't want to answer. Because how sincere you are in wanting to know lawful and unlawful. You want to do it or not? If you don't want, then why you be asking questions, isn't it? So, although the subject is actually necessary, but it's not a necessity. You need to. The legal aspect of Islam is based on the Tawheed. How much you love Allah. I got one more for you example. So it's how much you love that wife of yours that make you want to be doing a lot of things for her. The system is about Hubullah. Hub, when you learn Arabic, then you understand the hub here is really beyond human understanding. Allah's love is beyond human understanding. You know? He loves you. He didn't ask for anything. All the immeasurable bounties that He gave you is FOC. If you were to be counting,
Yeah, the best day. You know, always
yeah, it comes to everybody, Mr. Zul. You don't know my history of what I went through as a teacher. Still, if you're willing to eat the ikan bilis, then okay lah.
so it's very difficult. The more I know, the boundary is smaller and like it's scary.
Come to me lah if you need more clarification. You know, I don't want you to. There's no boundary lah. You know where I stay already. Emergency, just come to my house. No, I'm sleeping at the hall. You will not definitely I'll jump. So I'm the last person to be sleeping in my house. Although you see normally my house is dark. We close everything because I got one precious daughter inside and my wife. So normally I'm not at home. I just told him. I said most of the time I'm out. So my wife had to switch off all the light and attached to PUB. The whole thing become very bright. She's alone. That now my daughter is going to. I mean, she completed her studies already, and after that she needs to go to work. So she will still be remaining alone at home now. So just feel free lah. Spend many time. He's the nearest lah. These two are the nearest, but yet the furthest.
No, really, I am very comfortable. That's why I just
Alhamdulillah.
don't want to say much, but
Alhamdulillah. I mean, it's because of I'm sincere. If I'm not sincere, you won't be here. It's not because of my face. You don't want to see my face. It's the heart. The moment Khairuddin introduced, he locked in already. Although that time I see
maybe you can see lah that I was telling you,
Alhamdulillah. It's Allah who make it happen. So do not leave that dua from. There is a dua by a prophet. Most of the prayer that we are doing, the pray, prophet's prayer. Rabbi Shrah li Sadri is a prophet. Sadri, Rabbi Shrah li Sadri means I'm asking Allah to assist me to make my word touches your heart. That's how lah. So use it properly. Don't use it. Don't abuse it. Go into the amoy and expect that it touches the heart. The women are touched most than men. They can be touched. That is the prayer of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Because it's accidental. If you read the history, he says something that is very rude, and Allah. Then later he is not able to speak. So that's where if you read this verse, it's in the Quran. Slowly, inshallah. Just come as I said, although my house is not really that big, but you have been there. Just come and there's a coffee shop below. If you're not keen to go up, okay, we can go down and drink coffee. Kopi katai. As I say, like these two are yet, they are near but yet so far. Very hard to get. They only come when there's class. Otherwise, they will not be there. Anyway, so usual knowledge is that which helps to recognize my greatness. Sorry, it occurs in the narrative. See, there's a narration about this thing that exalted Allah commanded Daud, Prophet David, alayhi salam, to acquire useful knowledge. He, alayhi salam, the Prophet, inquire as to what kind of knowledge was useful. Then Allah told him, usual knowledge is that which helps to recognize my greatness. That's why I told you, if you use this every day in Singapore, you will burst into tears. You can see the greatness of Allah here. You can see. In comparison to other countries, so you can see the moment you hear hurricane, tornado, you can see the greatness. Hey, lucky man. You can see the greatness of Allah. So you use that knowledge and the grandeur to believe that I have power over all things. That is what I meant by Tawheed just now. Once you recognize that, there's nothing to be afraid of. See people from China go Myanmar go Singapore, survive. Right? Although you'll be surprised, I'm telling you that he believes in money. He doesn't want to know who is that God. Okay? You understand or not? In many situations, people who went through hardship in life, they know there is one, the issue of, because of their being biased, racist, and so they don't want to know that one God. Because the majority of that one God is worshipped by another race. Example. So this is what happened in general. That's why those people who are able to see the greatness of Allah. So that's why for us, when you become a Muslim, show that greatness. Hug your father, play marble with him or whatever, that touches his side, say, hey, this ayah was different already. And this is, it should be different. Cannot be the same ayah what? That he knew lah. He raised you what? Kan? He knew lah. This son not much of a different. I swear lah, my son go to another religion. This is what happened if you are not able to see the greatness of Allah. That's all what you need, but to just cry. And as I was telling you, right? If there's a command from the authority here to burn him alive, now at this very moment, do you have the heart to see him being burned? I don't think so, right? If you do, I don't know what kind of a son are you lah. So it's the same thing that if you're going to be living with him and not doing anything, it's not your duty to convert him, but it is your duty to show Allah Ta'ala and leave that matter in. When you pray, you read loudly. Kena slap. Inshallah. This is a shy in the right way, not the wrong way. So the right way is read it in the right way. Because anyone who are not embracing Islam can be affected by the verses. Only the person reciting must not yaya papaya. You understand or not? You cannot be like boastful and Papa, listen up. That one sure say, hey, your song no good. My opera one is better than yours. The intention. This is what happened. You read the Sirah. The two companion, these two person hated the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but couldn't help wanting to listen to his recitation. Until they fight among one another, promise not to. You see, you promised yesterday, don't want to come, but today you come and listen. Hey, what are you doing here? They quarrel just because of that. Abu Lahab and Abu Jahl. They hated the Prophet, but they can't avoid listening to his voice. Because he read with all his heart, touches him. They cry, They cry when they hear the Prophet. No, Abu Jahl and Abu Jahl. Walid ibn Walid. Khalid ibn Walid or Walid? I forgot lah who. In Sirah lah if you learn. So this is an example. I know you go to Chinatown, you read. Example lah. Like during the time Hamza, when he embraced Islam, that is what he did. This is Hamza coming into Kaaba. I want to be ready. That is for me.
Well, Hamza, Ustadz, we all different Hamza.
Hamza Mutalib. So this is, it boils back again to your iman. Really, I'm telling you that if you take the public transport, you can be reading something in your next neighbor. You must be sincere. It must be a genuine. Cannot be pretentious. Then the other party will say, bastard, you get out. You always make so noise. They put the headphone and they make it louder. Because the reader are not genuine. You know, like sometimes I see the Christian does that. I mean, there are Muslims who are doing it. It's just that maybe they are not sincere in their reading. Maybe they get angry with someone beside them snoring, or maybe that may chikope, maybe like one chichi or what. So they take the Quran and they read loudly. That the reading is hatred. I see. That's why you see in Islam, first thing that you must learn. If I can love you, Adil, why you cannot love me? Love me with all your heart. See? That's all what you need to do. You will bring all others people into this religion because Islam teaches you to love. Love Allah creation. Hate what Allah hate, love what Allah love. Then you will find that things will be much more easier for you. Don't hate them for because of they worship others. They don't know what. They don't know. Islam teach you to love. You have to love yourself, then you will make others love. So here, he was told the usual knowledge is that which helps to recognize Allah, to recognize His greatness, and then the grandeur, and to believe that Allah has power over all things. So this knowledge shall bring you closer to Him. It will bring you closer. That's all. What if that's what you are asking and checking earlier? That is the answer now. Given here, it's narrated. This is a narration about the Prophet David. He wants to know, and this is what the reply given to him by God. Then again, a statement from Sayyidina Ali Karamallahu wahda. He reported to have said, if I had died in my childhood and entered paradise, I would not have been as happy as I would have been happy on knowing my Lord on growing up. Can you imagine? This is because the man who is favored with a knowledge of Allah will fear Him most and will worship Him most sincerely and heartedly. So knowledge should be acquired with sincerity. We come in here, hot weather, too many helicopter, fair lah. Example lah. I mean, better lah. Like if you were to be comparing during my time, we were under the tree, that kind of thing. If you are now under a roof. So what is needed is only sincerity, of intention and right understanding. That's why I begin it's again a prayer of Prophet. Allahumma inna a'udzubika min ilmin la yanfa'. Grant me knowledge that is beneficial. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-fahma nabiyyin. Give me the understanding of Prophet. So this is how you set the right intention and right understanding, not only with the help of the tradition and narration. It is difficult to put into practice knowledge that is acquired without understanding it. You need to understand what you do. So that knowledge becomes a source of loss instead of gain, which is acquired with intentions of overpowering men. This is normally why people come for class, isn't it? You want to see akal later and whack akal. You never stupid, you never learn. If that is the intention, then the knowledge becomes something that is not. That means your intention is overpowering men, then associating and mixing with the rich to make them buy you. Hey, don't worry, I look after your economy. You can keep your money. Okay, taking pride in defeating opponents and in argumentation for attaining worldly gain. So be careful of all this when you want to continue your study. Careful of this, very clear here. Okay, the knowledge that becomes a source of loss instead of gain if you acquire with intentions of overpowering men. You don't come here just because of people to know this one really apple polish Ustadz, we really carry. No, that should not be the reason, or then associating so that people were to know that your Ustaz, oh, the Ustaz Isu, oh, Abib, all kind of name they give us to me. Don't. And then for you to be mixing with the rich. I have connected you already with some of the scholars that you know. So the rest is up to you. Right? Automatically already. So you be careful of it. And then there's a statement of Hazrat Bayazid radiallahu anhum. He said, I devoted myself and my soul to the acquisition of knowledge for about 30 years. Can you imagine? But I did not find anything more risky for me than knowledge. Okay? Satan tries to create pride in the heart of the learned on account of their learning, by which they are generally big-willed. You should, however, not allow Satan to deceive you when knowledge is so dangerous. It should be avoided in abundance. So this mode of thinking is wrong and misleading. Should not be thinking in that way. Here, Prophet Muhammad SAW said, which means when on the night of the ascension, Mi'raj, I peeped into hell. Listen carefully. I peeped into hell. I saw that most of its inmates were the poor people. The noble companion radiallahu anhum asked, O Messenger of Allah, were they those who had no money? The Prophet ﷺ says, so they were devoid of knowledge and learning. That was what happened. So knowledge is the root of all injunction and commandment. A man without knowledge is ignorant of the injunction about worship. He cannot worship Allah according to the prescribed etiquette and condition. This is what happened. So as such, an ignorant man is in the loss. Even if he devote himself to worship like all the angels of the heaven, right? No point. So here Imam Ghazali tell us, so, O worshipper, put all your thoughts and attention in the acquisition of knowledge and avoid idleness and confusion. Beware that error and straying are the worst danger confronting you. When you reflect on the attributes and the creations of Almighty Allah, you will become convinced that you have only one Allah worthy of worship. You only have one who has absolute power over all things with an exclusive will. He is all-knowing, all-seeing. His speech, knowledge, and will are not new. It's not a new thing. So that goes back again to your understanding of his attribute, isn't it? He's immune from all kinds of losses and calamities. He is also free from attributes of all that is created. You see the difference there? He is neither like a created being. If you don't know, I mean, it's a very simple English, isn't it? Can you understand? He is neither like a created being. What does that mean? Just say what you want.
Based on the structure of ayat Surah Al-Ikhlas, I think I remember they were saying Kufwan, that word means that you need the only one that
That's why it's good to know Arabic. Otherwise, Kufan become what? Don't know. The differently you pronounce because taekwondo lah. And is there anyone like him? These are the things that you should be asking yourself a question, Mr. Zoom. He is also free from place and direction. Tell me when you have problem, where you are. He's always he's free from place and direction. He doesn't, no accident or distress can approach him. Other than that, all stressful. Right? So when a man reflects on the miracles and the tokens of prophethood of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he shall become convinced that he, peace be upon him, is the true Messenger of Allah and the trustee of his revelation. Again, it's difficult. You see, like even for your respected self, when you say wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, you did not understand yet the conviction that is behind what you said. There's a conviction, meaning like you bear witness that whatever is being testified by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam are the. Come never listen. Come no beard. Example. Huh? Example. So you need to know, you are not to be having doubts onto any of his words, any of the statement of Muhammad, and that is supported by the Quran. The Creator supported, who says, "Waman yantikul anil hawa illa wahyu." Prophet does not speak out of his own desire. What he speaks is a revelation. So we take it very lightly. So that's why our faith are not really that strong. So here, if you examine the belief of the past saint and the dignitaries of the Ummah, the one that you can be proud of, you will find that they had a belief in the vision of the glories of Allah in the hereafter. That He is living, He has no limit, and no direction. The Holy Quran is Allah's uncreated word. It is neither letters nor has it voice. If it were in letters or voice, something created. It is therefore free from letters and voice because these are attributes of what is new and not of what is eternal and everlasting. This is where the differences about the Quran. Some says Qadim, some says it's new. Some says it's new. So this is where you need to be very careful. That's why by knowing Arabic, then you will understand the detail. So whatever happens in the universe happens with the command of Allah. Allah's will and power. Allah virtues, power of Allah, and all virtues and vices, gain and losses, belief and disbelief are subordinate to Allah. To Allah's will and wish, nothing concerning the creatures is binding on Him. If He rewards anyone, it is mercy, and if He punishes anyone, it is His justice. It's not. You cannot take it like a punishment. Whatever the custodians of the Sharia, example, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, with his sacred tongue, is true. It's true without any doubt. I just clarified that. You should not be doubting whatever that is. That's why knowing Arabic is important, as I mentioned yesterday. When there is like a prohibition, like the La yadkhulul jannah namimun, or namimun, that means the one that backbite will not enter heaven. So this kind of statement, you have to take it serious. It's like, that's why I said sometimes you cannot be comparing. Like in whichever country, if somebody, let's say the law says no smoking, you smoke, isn't it? Even you see the prison, the penalty that what you're going to get, but you are still defiant. So Islam teaches you beyond that, meaning that you don't even go near it. So that's why it's important for us to understand whatever is being said by the Prophet. So this includes affairs of the hereafter. Because if let's say now you ask Zul is the one talking about what will happen to me in the grave. You want to listen? Zul. Or Madam Hana. Or Madam Arfa talking about the hereafter. You want to listen? See, the beauty of Islam, you must see who is Madam Arfa and where does Madam Arfa get this statement about the hereafter. So unlike Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you cannot be doubting him because Allah has make him travel and see. The wisdom behind Isra al-Mi'raj, because there's two major calamity that is facing him at that time. So in other words, in our modern term will be, Allah wants the Prophet to become happy. Go for holiday. Isra al-Mi'raj is a holiday for the Prophet. And that's where he get to see many miraculous things in that journey. And they test him, okay? You don't need to test him. They test him to know, hey, Muhammad, you really aware? Like now I said, now I'm here. After that, I'm going to Saudi Arabia. Will you believe me? Then 5 minutes back later, I come. Yeah, I already went to Saudi Arabia. Actually, Saudi state. I go back to Baghdad straight. I go Baghdad just now. Where? Very fast come back already. People won't believe you. You don't have that power. So during those days, they will believe because they have not traveled that far. So in order to test the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they question him during the journey. What did you see? That Jibril is there beside him. Is he lah? Jibril is holding everything, the information. Jibril tell him this. He said to the people, hey, what more you want? What more? What kind of a proof that you want? So this is why here we were told this is not a storytelling thing. Because the Arab are good at that. So be very careful of the, it's not a storytelling, it's a hadith. Not hadith, it's hadith. Okay, it's a statement of the Prophet. So affairs of the hereafter, because this is very important. No one have gone and come back tell you what is happening downstairs. So how to know? That's why you see a lot of wild guess. That's why you will see the different religion will have different way of interpreting. Some burn the handphone. No handphone down there. They burn. No Rolls Royce. Burn Rolls Royce. No landed property. They burn landed property. See, they still believe there are something out there. So, for us, we are very fortunate. We have Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who have seen, who have went through that and tell us. You don't want to listen on what kind of a human being are you? At least we know already that Allah have assured us that He will not be telling you nonsensical. Whatever He said is a word of resurrection. I mean, it's the truth. So here he needs to be sharing about the affair of the hereafter, about the partition, about the resurrection, punishment in the grave, and then the interrogation in the grave. All these are clear. He mentioned. And then what more you want? Why wait? We bury our dead, right? How come never take lesson? Only that moment cry. The most is one year only lah. Remembering our loved one. So this is where we need to. This is why the knowledge become important, so that you know what to do. So these are all true, and they form principle of the religion. All the past and present sin of the community have been professing and acting upon this belief. They have always refrained from innovation and new things in the religion. We too, therefore, seek refuge with Allah, with exalted Allah, from this innovation and the desire and love. So after having learned that the various beliefs and tenets, man should acquire knowledge about the heart too, about sincerity, show, pride, and etc. Thereafter, knowledge should be acquired about the necessary outer act, purity, prayer, fasting, zakat, and haji. When you have acquired knowledge to this extent, according to the detail mentioned, you have completed the knowledge of the obligatory duties pertaining to every individual and have become aware of the problems and injunctions of Sharia. Now you may be counted among the ulama of the ummah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. If you went through that, on the condition that you act according to the knowledge you have acquired and are anxious about the safety of your final fate in the hereafter. After having completed a servant of Allah in true sense, working with knowledge and sense and understanding, you are no longer ignorant, a mere follower of others, nor negligent. You have, by the grace of Allah, crossed the valley of knowledge and acquaintance and have paid its full due. May that Allah help us all by His grace to act upon these injunctions with ease and facility. Wallahu alam bisawab. We stop here. So far, we crossed the first valley already. Chapter 2 will be the continuation now. After having knowledge, now is the repentance. Huh?
So far, pages we talk about. I mean, for me personally, like to summarize, it's actually you get knowledge in the right way with the teacher, sincerity, uh, and not just knowledge, but you try to understand the essence of the knowledge, and then it talks about acting on that knowledge. So these are the things that when we talk about having knowledge that we should focus on ourselves. So it's not just about going for class, having book, listening, but make an effort to understand and to apply that.
This is if sorry if you didn't use this book, not be read by what
We think we know, but it doesn't show in our character.
so we can see how accurate the Imam Ghazali's views pertaining to when we talk about knowledge. So he defined very detailed mechanism.
Is it the same? Because you mentioned before start about ilmu or knowledge without amal is void or something.
Yeah. Yes. That is in the hadith. He took the hadith. I think the beginning of the book, there's the hadith was quoted. Al-ilmu imam al-amal alama tabi'u. Knowledge and practice are two things that cannot be separated. In order to give meaning. Any other question? Khalid ibn Walid is behind there. Careful. General that never lose a battle.
Thought of Allah.
There's a guy, man.
Talking about understanding the essence of the knowledge that we learn, do you have any advice on that? So sometimes I think for me is when we learn, we understand the literal meaning of the knowledge, but the essence behind that knowledge is quite hard to come by. Do you have any advice on how do we make it easier on ourselves?
Look on your earning. Look on your earning.
And
Careful of telling to the earning and what you do with it in order to clear that whatever is holding you, the knowledge from being able to like or like otherwise renew your attention again.
the part on the earning, I think that relates to the idea of if our earning is haram, for example, or not halal, and we use it to like buy food and the food basically becomes so called not halal and it goes into our body, that's
Like your iman. The iman becomes weak. That's why as a Muslim actually what is needed is only a simple it's better lah. That's why if you go back to the basic thing service, price and service is enough already lah. We are shunning away from all this and then we do not know the substance. What is inside all this food that we are eating? How we are in choosing our food. Like we don't even have our own Muslim confectionery. So we need people like her, people like Chef, tell us what is inside the ingredient. But people like him also he's facing a challenge. Can we be using alcohol in my cooking? He was waiting for me to say yes. Prophet says no. Whatever is haram, a seed is also. So it's out of piety. Out of piety. It again goes back to you. If you understand the journey of the hereafter, you do, then you should be prepared. If you don't, then it's your problem, not the religion. Any other question? Yes. Don't mind. Alamak.
I came across a video about this one where he was asked what the body is okay for them to destroy. So what he answered was that destroy is giving what the body to do. And for what I understand what he said, saying so for me, I'm taking over to feel that that's considered nothing for you or no.
Steroid is a drug, but if you are taking all other protein enhancing for your strength, that is a halal product, not a haram product, isn't it? Unless if you take a haram one, I wouldn't know. Normally they will let you know. Some of these you cannot. You're not supposed to take like that.
It's tough for like supplements and stuff. From what I know is tough.
Yeah.
But you can try to. You have to look at the ingredient. There's no choice for it because we don't control the market. It's very difficult.
Best is if you know that the product is coming from overseas, you better don't buy it. Because there is no halal certification. Yeah. But now there are a lot of discoveries made by our Muslim scholars, like the latest one. I don't know whether you heard this, the leaf of the elephant trunk. These are, these are again some of the latest discoveries made by our scholars. So to say, I mean, it's natural way of healing for diabetic, cancer. For cancer. Elephant trunk. Belalai gajah, daun belalai gajah. Itu bukan daun dia.
You can find it quite easily along the roadside. I think Bukit Batu ada.
Yeah, but that has not been made into every process. You want to eat, then the elephant get angry. Daun belalai gajah. I have it. You want? I can buy for you. I can order for you. Jofi's father, they buy the leaf and they keep at their house with the whole. Cancer and diabetic also. If you want. Just that much only. Actually, give you. I totally never eat. I was diagnosed as diabetic. I didn't take the medicine at all. My wife has been shouting, venting. No, inshallah. So I only take that. I only take that. What do you call it? Yeah, and Abatul Sauda. And I've given you all like the Doa Angin Ahmar. You must read that. When you take the medicine, you read, inshallah, you will be happy. And then wake up at 4 a.m. and bathe cold water. When you wake up first, Prophet Muhammad said, drink cold water. Drink cold water to flush everything. No. Cold water. Yeah.
Cold water.
See, Chinese have been more Islamic, They do this one.
Talking about the application part, we learn so many things. sometimes can be a bit overwhelming. Like which one do we choose? And then I think you mentioned before, like so many doa, which one do we start with? Do we try to do all, or should we just focus on one? Any advice on that?
Actually, there are a few dua that is best to be reading it daily. Like they call this dua Rabbana Atina. It's actually a holistic dua.
Rasulullah is most commonly used dua.
Correct. So those are the kind of that should be regularly. The other one is because of also a Quranic verse, Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana. This is in case of fear that we turn around. You can be deviated any moment. Wallahi, I'm telling you, every day, I scared of myself. I don't know where to go in Singapore. Tell me, go to market, no, young, see sexy, too many sexy old ladies and young ladies. Where you want me to go? The only place that you can go is to the mosque. The only place. It's like nowhere to go. No, I turn around, I go back to Adibat. There's nowhere to go. Scary, I'm telling you, Singapore is scary. There's no decent place where you can get coffee. Even not in Starbucks, Maba, all kind of nonsense like this fast food outlet. So this is the reason why Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana and Rabbana hab lana min azwajina. That is about your wife and yourself. Because Dr. Abdul Qadir defined the ending. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Make us both own area. Then there will be no problem in the marriage. Because both are leaders. You play your role, I play my role. They have
in terms of the application for Ustadz, like how do we choose which knowledge to start off first? I mean, obviously, I don't think it's possible to do everything. So how do
knowledge is the three
prioritize?
subjects. For the general or layman, it's only the three subjects. Tawheed, fiqh, and Rasul.
So we choose a bit from each.
Yes.
So most important.
Most important is the Tawheed.
Tawheed.
Honestly speaking, okay, let's do an analysis. Will you be doing something? Let's say your wife said, "Bang, you really love me. I want you to go out naked." Would you be doing something or not? Remember, before you answer, remember, she's challenging you to love her. I want you to go out there naked. Cannot be that kind of request, but I'm trying to make you understand.
Assuming the request is okay, if you have faith in the thing, you will do it.
So you see, as human being, that is the base of Islam. You do because of your love. Your mind are able to know who are you loving. What will you be? Is there any assurance, a guarantee that you will be getting the love from the party that you are loving? The answer is definite. For the other, for human, it's indefinite. For all other than God, it's indefinite. I mean, like you now. Like now, Zul like me, chasing me everywhere. Ayah chasing me everywhere. Later he hate me, then she salam alaikum.
Wah, dia bisa bye-bye.
Yeah, come in. Then divorce me, that's it. I mean, as you know, I've been teaching, you have met some of my older students who has been with. I mean, partly it's because of I also traveled. I was in Kuching for 1.5 years. So that's why I lost. I mean, I wouldn't use the word loss, but that was the reason why my students were scattered and they have already been taught by me to not stop. So they continued. They went back to Ustadz, someone that, of course, Alhamdulillah, may Allah Ta'ala shower mercy of him. He is, suitable for mostly for revert.
So focus on Tawheed.
And Tasawwuf. Tawheed and Tasawwuf. Fiqh is something very clear. No question about it.
Quantity or the istiqamah of the knowledge.
Okay, based on the hadith of Prophet Muhammad, as we know, the translation of the hadith, and the Prophet says, Allah loves someone do something little. but steadfast. Based on that. It's just that, it's very funny. Like I always mention, I give you one chapter, not enough for you. You want ayat kursi, ayat meja, ayat cinta, all kind of ayat you want. But in the end, you find that all the ayat you never use. So why not just one? And then that's why, according to the hadith, if you want to be listening, Prophet Muhammad SAW have made it very clear. Afdalu zikri fa'lamanahu la ilaha. He says that was been recited by the Prophet before me too. So he said Afdal. Afdal means the best. Among all zikr is just to say La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. That is light, but heavy. So it's up to us. It's a question of how you apply all these others. In other words, in Islam, actually, in order to strengthen your iman, don't idle. When there is a space, zikr coming. When there's a space, zikr coming. That's why the Arab, it's a practice that they carry the beats wherever they are. That one also. Very big one. Not easy. Muslim only the one that you cannot see. And now they come with all kind of ladies, all kind of small gadget. I say, what are they doing? I thought they play with their finger there. So there's this. Now see advanced. Allah so like this thing. Where does it came? Last time I have the 1,001 yuan. I buy it from Makkah. Every time, I bought from Makkah.
I got 1,001 euros.
Small one. You want the big one like that one also I have. The big one. Yeah. Ada dekat my house.
It's like the monk. But actually,
I want
1,000. You can finish it. You can finish the detail in a short time. It's not as long as you think. It's just that mentally 1,000, but actually if you do it, just in the bus, whatever, your trip point A to point B possible.
Now it's hard.
More distraction, I agree.
Now you see the challenge is always there.
It's not YouTube.
They watch movie lah, kung fu movie lah, football match. You can see here, my house, our place there, not your house, my side lah, my side the back one, side all like that. I come back, below you can see all this PRC, they're using their own the sea show, don't know what, maybe different time here and the other side. Maybe lah. And the Indian one side. And, below my block there, scattered everywhere lah. Like in Serangoon there, Sunday lah. They have to have a special place. So we need to be doing zikir. Once you zikir, ratib is you have problem of dragging and noisy upstairs. Read that in the ratib they want. But begin with ayatul kursi and combine of amana rasulu bimma. And you not only up, the below one all bankrupt. How many owner already changed? So every night I say the magic word. Coffee shop change owner many times already.
The last two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, it was revealed to Rasulullah when he went Isra. So it's very special because it's like direct revelation.
It's not that that's why I say that if you must have that love in your heart, then you should not be hating any of Allah. Don't talk about religion. It's a two different things. Because Allah asks you to love His creation. So if you hate His creation because of He asks you to hate, if He doesn't ask you to hate, you should not be hating. These are only that means you will find that the space instead of wider becomes narrow. Only the naughty one that is the one that will not be loved by Allah. Other than that, okay. استغفر الله العظيم. اللهم إنا أعوذ بك من علم لا ينفع ومن قلب لا يخشى ومن نفس لا تشفى ومن دعوة لا يستجاب لها. اللهم أغننا بالعلم وزينا بالحلم وأكرمنا بالتقوى وجملنا بعافية يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك الفهم النبيين وحفظ المرسلين وإلهام الملائكة المقربين. اللهم اعف علينا فقه العارفين وفقهنا في الدين وعلمنا تأويل واهدنا إلى السبيل. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات وهم وأكرمنا بنور فهم. اللهم اعف علينا أبواب فضلك ويسر علينا هداينا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد. الحمد لله. السلام عليكم.